Monday, I think you said. But how are Steph and Draymond?
Good. Both of them are ready to go. They practiced today, and they'll be playing tomorrow.
Boston is obviously coming in for tomorrow, and they're playing really well. They have the best record in the league. I guess maybe a bigger picture question. When a team goes to the finals and they kind of get a taste of that, but obviously don't win, do you think that like adds like extra fuel like the following season, or might be like a extra motivator, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, Boston's been close for a long time now. I mean, it wasn't just making the finals last year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were in the conference finals 3 times before last year, before breaking through last year. So, 4 times in the conference finals over the previous 5 or 6 years. They've been one of the best teams in the NBA during that entire stretch. But I think they're better now than ever. They had a great offseason. Adding Malcolm Brogdon was a huge addition for them. And then I think everybody is a year better, too. You can see how well Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are playing. And they spread you out, 5 out. Really hard to guard with that many shooters. And they've always been an excellent defensive team, too. So I'm sure the motivation from last year is there and driving them, and they've been by far the best team in the league.
What does it say about a team like Boston that's able to get a taste of what it's like to get to the NBA Finals and to take a leap forward instead of taking a step back, like we've seen with some teams like, Dallas, Atlanta, teams that have gotten to like Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals, but kind of took a step back the next year instead of like taking a leap like the Celtics have?
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks to their competitiveness, but more so it just speaks to the complete nature of their team. You mentioned those other teams. Like I said, Boston's been in the conference finals 4 times now in recent years. They've been knocking on the door for a good reason. They have a great roster. They've been well coached for a long time. They have continuity, and so more than anything, they're just they are one of they've been one of the best teams in the league over the last 6 years or so, and that continuity, that level of talent, how well they're run organizationally, how well coached they are. There's a reason they're where they are.
Hey, Steve, why was Andrew's skill set so important against the Celtics in the finals for what Boston presents both offensively and defensively?
Well, you have to guard Tatum and Brown, and they're 2 of the toughest covers in the league because of their size and skills and athleticism. So Andrew played a key role defensively. And then, he's always been a great secondary scorer for us. And, Steph obviously had a monster finals, and so they had to pay a lot of attention to him. And there were some really key possessions where, Andrew got isolated with someone and, just went right to the rim and scored. He got a lot of key offensive rebounds in that series for us, putbacks, just did everything necessary to win.
Yeah, his rebounding seemed to really stick out, obviously, in the finals. For someone like Jonathan, who's obviously 7 years younger, but how does his athleticism, and it seems like he kind of has an increased production of rebounding lately, just rebounding-wise, how does he kind of make up for that a little bit?
How do we make up for the absence
of Andrew, obviously, with Jonathan's athleticism and rebounding kind of increasing lately?
Yeah, well, we need JK to continue to improve every day. I mean, he's doing so well and he's come so far. But the exciting thing is there's still a lot of growth ahead. And one of those areas is to become a consistent rebounder, because there's nothing that should keep him from doing so. So he'll keep working, and our players will keep mentoring him, we'll keep coaching him, and I think he'll get better and better.
Did Anthony Lamb practice today?
Yes.
He's been named in a civil suit. He's not a defendant. He hasn't been charged with a crime, but there are very serious allegations in that suit and details. Just what is your reaction to that, and does that change anything with his status going forward?
Yeah, as an organization, we put out a statement yesterday that I think captures everything that we believe, and so I will stand behind that statement and leave it at that.
You guys sent James back down to the G League. Was that just the decision based off of what we kind of talked about before that Jazz game of if there aren't going to be any obvious minutes for him in the rotation up here, better to get reps down
Yes.
in Santa Cruz?
Yeah, so with Draymond coming back tomorrow, it made it an easy decision, and James will play tonight and get a lot of minutes and continue his growth.
Steve, going back to the finals against Boston, they had a 2-1 lead with Game 4 on their floor, and they lost that, and you guys won 4, 5, and 6 in a row. Going back to when you guys won 73 games in 2016, the mentality approaching training camp, can you remember what it was like? I know you were going through your own personal health issues, but remember what it was like just early on in terms of trying to sort of internalize maybe what had happened in the finals, losing to Cleveland, before going into camp, and what it was like around the team?
I think it was different because we had just signed Kevin, and so rather than sort of, licking our wounds and, thinking about what happened the previous year, we were completely focused on incorporating Kevin into our roster, and so there was a sense of excitement more than anything, and I think our guys at that point, having both won and lost a finals series, had a lot of experience, a lot of perspective, and there wasn't a whole lot to be gained really from looking back. I think there are cases where that can be the case, probably for Boston, looking back this year. But for us at the time, there wasn't anything from the previous year that motivated us or that we had to think about strategically. It was let's incorporate Kevin, David West, Zaza. We had a new group, and so there was a sense of excitement to see what we could do.
Really quickly, Raymond just let us know that you guys are retiring Bill Russell's number before the game. I mean, obviously just a huge mark he has left on the NBA and really just society, I guess. Just thoughts on his legacy.
Yeah, I mean, his number is being retired around the NBA, but I think the significance here is that, Bill was from Oakland, played high school ball here, played at USF, made such a huge impact on the Bay Area that it feels more special here than it would in any other city other than Boston, obviously. But so we're really excited about the moment tomorrow, and just very proud of the legacy that Bill Russell left here in the Bay and across the NBA.
Going back to the game on Wednesday, I know at the end of the game, obviously, you were looking at some things that you guys didn't do well down the stretch, especially. Having studied the video maybe, did you see anything that made you feel maybe less annoyed by what happened? Or what's your take after once you looked at the video?
There were a lot of great things that happened during the game, but